Albertans are justly proud of their pioneering heritage. We are known for our strong work ethic and our ability to work together cooperatively for the good of the whole community. This trait was evident when rural Albertans got together around their kitchen tables to discuss how collectively they could improve their quality of life. Alberta farmers saw how the arrival of electricity, natural gas, and piped-in water improved the lives of residents living in towns and cities. To their dismay, Alberta's farmers quickly discovered that privately owned utility companies were not interested in extending the same utility services to rural residents. This lack of interest in providing utility services to rural Alberta became the rallying point for the beginning of the province's proud rural utilities cooperative movement.
My name is Bert Paulson. I'm the chairman of ARUA, the Alberta Rural Utilities Association, as well as I sit on the board for the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops. The Alberta Rural Utilities Association is made up of the following members. We have the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, the Alberta Federation of Rural Electrification Associations, the Alberta Association of Municipal Districts and Counties, Alberta Water Co-ops, Gas Alberta Inc., and Prairie Power Inc. ARUA was developed in May of 2002, and the main intent was to bring together all the various rural utilities so that we had a collaborative voice when speaking with government on either global or provincial issues.
My name is Doug Horner. I'm the Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Development for the province of Alberta. I'm blessed to be the son of the Minister of Agriculture from the early 70s, my dad, Dr. Hugh Horner, who was a big supporter of the cooperatives and saw it as a way to bring economic diversity into rural Alberta and really bring the quality of living in rural Alberta to a new level.
With local offices, local staff, small town staff operating these systems, and the opportunity to actually know your servicemen and be able to provide some input into what you'd like to see happen. And I think that those are real advantages for people who belong to co-ops to stay with co-ops.
I'm Douglas Mashmeyer and at Bruderheim, and this is the home farm. We call it the hog farm because we do raise some pigs here and cattle and grain, but so this is the main operation. Now we still have to buy power, we still have to buy the gas, we still have to buy the water, but by being together as a provincial association, we've got some say, hey, that's not very nice, and then people will listen more than to an individual. The people on there are the people from the area, so they're the directors, so they know the needs of the people, the needs of their customers, and what's the best way to service them and to working together. And so all the people on the boards are actually directly involved. They're gas users.
Yeah, my name's Lyle Kuzik, and I'm the chairman of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops. Some 40 years ago, a group of people got together because the multinationals wouldn't come to rural Alberta to serve gas, natural gas for home heating. And the farmers and the provincial government put together a vision for the future. And with that vision, they created a thing called co-ops. And with the co-ops, they went out into the trenches and got everybody signed up to make gas a reality, natural gas a reality in rural Alberta.
Hi, Sal. I was just over at the horticulture meeting, and guess what? They're talking about getting natural gas into our homes. The folks in town have got natural gas, and they get to cook more easily, heat their homes, and they get to do their laundry more easily. What do you think about it?
Having gas would make a difference to me, too. I could heat our workshop and maybe even our garage.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to spend hours carrying in wood for the wood stove.
And the time I save not having to gather and split wood, I could do all sorts of extra things around the farm.
Yeah, like maybe take us to the movies.
That too. You know, I'm going to talk to the farmer's advocate again to see what's involved in getting gas out to us living here in rural Alberta. The last time I talked to him, he suggested that we get together with our neighbors to see what we as a group can do to get gas right here in our homes.
Do you really think that could happen?
Why not? The farmer's advocate said we could establish a co-op similar to the REAs, and collectively we could run gas lines right here to our houses. Then with other co-ops, we could get together and buy gas directly from the suppliers and have it distributed right here to our farms.
How soon can we get gas, Dad? I'm getting tired of bringing in wood and taking out the ash every day.
Well, son, sooner than you think, because I'm going to invite all the neighbors to the meeting at the community hall tomorrow night to talk about the establishment of a gas co-op. I'm even going to invite the farmer's advocate to come along to help us get the ball rolling.
I'll help you, Sam. Great. Maybe we will get to go to the movies, Gary. Woohoo!
The whole thing started basically around kitchen tables, people meeting people, having coffee, what they'd like to see for their families in the future. And with that, they together with their kids and neighbors and contractors started putting in lines.
And in '73, the line was plowed in through my land here. And so I would say in about probably '74 that we actually started using gas in our houses and stuff. Well, the large gas suppliers did not want to invest in individual farms here and another one down the road. They like to go, say, into an acreage where everybody's, 300 feet apart, and so that's where they like to sell gas. And so this was too costly, and it couldn't have been done alone. The government did help us a lot, and so the utility companies wouldn't have put gas into the farms.
My name is Dennis Duncan. We own Cooley Ridge Farms at Bentley, Alberta. Third generation family farm out here, and a gas co-op and an REA customer. My father was a founding director on our local gas co-op, and he was there for 25 years, and now I've been there probably another 10 to 15, I believe. We have a large dairy and grain farm and a feedlot, and of course the dairy barns take an awful lot of natural gas. We've got 3 houses in the yard, a big shop, and as well as we have a large grain drying facility for the harvest every fall, and it's pretty critical of the delivery of our natural gas, and of course the pricing that makes us competitive, and it's important for us in getting our crop off every year.
When we look at putting in a gas line to somebody, it's done in an expedient fashion. We have the gas offices in most instances right in the middle of the area. They go out, they do the job, they have servicemen working there, they buy groceries in their local towns, and they build houses. So we have 400 and some employees throughout Alberta just in a direct line of gas, plus probably another 1,000 people out there that deal indirectly with our system. So it creates a economic development opportunity for a lot of the municipalities. Without that, you'd take a lot of dollars out of your communities and you'd send it to the larger cities.
The biggest benefit is the service we get from our local gas co-op. We know the servicemen, they're people from our community. The girls in the office and the managers are people from our community. So the money that we're spending towards the service we're getting is staying in our community and helping those families along the way in what they do. And from a service aspect, I can call my neighbor who is the serviceman and have him come out at all hours of the night and keep me going and keep me rolling, whether it's grain drying or in my dairy barn or in my house. And I find that as a huge benefit in that we are getting cheaper gas than you do from most of the other outlets that you can buy gas, but that we're not having to call a call center in some major city and hopefully get service in the next 3 days when we're out of gas now. And to me, that's a big benefit and really a great thing about our local co-op system.
My name is Dave Scheidemann, and I'm the Executive Director at the Federation office. The Federation office provides, as an umbrella organization, provides insurance, pension plan, and benefits to our member utility employees. The real benefit, obviously, is the strength in numbers versus individual utilities trying to obtain their own services. Gas Alberta is owned by the same members that are part of the Federation. It's in place to purchase gas for all of the members and provide it to them on a pooled price basis throughout the province. Gas Alberta purchases gas through various methods, that being some short-term contracts, long-term contracts. I believe they do some hedging and even some storage, thus enabling them to maintain the lowest price possible for their members. So over the years, the Federation has branched out into areas in regards to supplying over to RMO stations that our member utilities have taken over. We also supply instrument service out in the field. All of these stations are now reporting via the telephone line back to the office. That particular information is downloaded onto our website, and our members are able to access that information on a daily basis, which helps them in maintaining a gas balance on their system. We have service people that are capable of going into the field and checking those, verifying those instruments that are out there, and we have programs for that. The staff that is at the Federation at the current time is very well trained. They're capable of handling basically any inquiries, that type of thing that comes along to the office, and some of them have been here a number of years, and obviously we have some new employees. As an example, some of the things that we do help our member utilities, and they often have inquiries in regards to it may be something like railway crossings, different things like that, where there are issues with the railroad, and then they don't have or they may not have the expertise or the knowledge, so they would come to us, and we would pursue it through legal routes, either with our solicitor and the government, that type of thing. So helping them in situations where they're not able to deal with it individually. This building is owned by the Federation. It was paid for by all of the utility members on a prorated cost-sharing basis. So no money has been borrowed. The people that are in Federation Centre, along with ourselves, obviously the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, are the Federation of Alberta Rural Electrification Associations, the Wild Rose Agriculture Producers, the Rubis Billing System, and actually we do some work for the water co-ops out of this office.
With the 63 gas co-ops in the province of Alberta, the 19 municipalities, 4 counties, and 6 Indian bands, they should be proud of what they've got. Everything they have is their own. Everything that will be accomplished will be on their board of directors, who do a fantastic job in the province looking after the needs of their members.
Basically, the younger farmers now are more businessmen than maybe our fathers were. You have to be in order to survive, and no doubt are being approached when you're a large gas user by the multinationals and that to buy gas from them. And I think it's important that the young farmers nowadays get involved with their co-ops and realize the benefits of the co-op system and what it does for us in our communities and in the province for doing a good job for the farming community.
Okay, my name is Merv Brockle. I'm the president of the Alberta Federation of REAs. I'm the District 4 Director. I'm from the Horse Guard Rural Electrification Association. The REAs were cooperatives many years ago, back in 1948, when the farmers in Alberta wanted electricity. The utility companies felt they could not afford to build all the lines, so the farmers in each of the rural communities got together, signed up various farmers around the community, and formed a cooperative and started building their own lines.
John, when are we going to get electricity? The children barely have enough light to do their homework.
Well, when I was in town earlier today, I spoke to our neighbor Doug Swanson about getting electricity into the farms. He said he spoke to Calgary Power and that they weren't interested in supplying us power. They said that it was too expensive to put in poles and to run wire, and that it just wasn't going to be a good return.
Well, John, when did no ever stop you from improving our life here on the farm in the past? Electricity would make our lives so much easier. We could have electric lights, and the kids could do their homework, and we could have a light in the barn and maybe even a yard light.
And I could get that electric pump for the well and pipe water to the kitchen rather than carrying buckets of water in every day.
I don't like that idea, because that would mean I would have to have a bath more than once a week. That means I'd be able to have my own bath water, which would be great.
John, why don't you and Doug get together and talk to the neighbors? Maybe we can bring in our own electricity.
That's a great idea, Jane. We have a community meeting next week at the hall, and I'll bring it up with the neighbors. If the big power companies don't want to supply us with power, that's certainly not going to stop us. Jane, we are going to get electricity for this farm community. And I guarantee you, you're going to get that electric wringer washer as promised.
When a farmer or an acreage owner now would like to have some service, they would go to the REA and make out an application to provide power. And if this was approved, they would actually go out, survey the situation, then decide where to put the poles. They would dig the holes, plant the poles, string the lines, and put in the transformers, and then eventually when it's hooked up to the farm house or yard, they would then energize the system.
About 56 years ago that the power came through the area, and I remember that I was about 17 or 18, and I helped tamp in a lot of the poles in the area here. We had to tamp in because they were put in, and then Calgary Power, they got us farmers, and we worked on the tamping the poles in, and so that went against the cost of us putting the power in.
Right.
So still it was very hard work, and it helped to reduce the costs to the power. And so I was young and in my prime, so Dad sent me out on the line to tamp in poles, and boy, that was hard work, and we put in long days.
Well, probably our major use of power in our operation would be the dairy, and also our grain drying facility, which uses an awful lot of power. And so pretty essential in what we're doing, especially in harvest and in the winter with our dairy, that we got a constant, uninterrupted supply of power. And if we do have problems, we know where to go and how to get it remedied in a hurry at any hour of the day.
The lights, that's a big part of it, the lights. Running the electric motors for the furnaces, the pumps, the electric pumps that pump the water out of the wells, pump the water around the yard. Okay, our water bowls are heated by electricity, and I think there's 7 or 8 of those. There's 2 motors on the gas-fired heater that are circulating the water to keep both barns at a good temperature. Besides your augers are really important, and they're there. You throw a switch and bang, you've got feed for your pigs. Your exhaust fans are really important. Yeah, there's 4 fans in the big barn that are running, that are exhausting the humidity and the smell out of there. And in the farrowing barn, there are 2 fans in there that are continuously going day and night.
The REAs are a cooperative. It starts in the community. There's members that are all part of the community. Everybody knows the board of directors. They work with all their members. They keep them well informed. The money that comes into the cooperative stays within the community. Some of the REAs that do their own work and services that employs many people in the community. And throughout the province, it's worth millions of dollars. And that dollar stays in the community. It helps support the industry of that community. And I think the whole community is a lot stronger because of the cooperative movement.
And the role of the rural REAs in what we're doing here is very important, because Like the co-ops, the REAs give us that benefit of local ownership and local control of our utility. And in the end brings us, I believe, the best rates and best services that we could possibly get beyond what any large company or multinational could do for us.
My name is Brian Jackwich. I work with the Alberta Federation of REAs, and I am the business manager at an office located in Sherwood Park. So currently there's about 45,000 members within the REA service territory. The main difference between an REA and an investor-owned utility is that it's the actual member who owns the distribution lines. Those distribution lines are managed through a board of directors, which the membership elects. Investor-owned utilities often have a board of directors also, but they report to a shareholder. The shareholder is looking at one thing: bottom line profit. The bottom line profit dictates whether or not an investor-owned utility is being successful at what it does. On the other hand, the REA looks at the individual specific needs of the membership, strives to work at cost and pass on the savings to the member, and hopefully realize through lower utility bills.
My name is Keith Johnston, and basically where I started out with the water co-ops with my own water co-op, which is Josephburg Water Co-op, immediately east of Fort Saskatchewan. I'm chairman of that, and I'm also chairman of the Alberta Federation of Rural Water Co-ops.
Well, we're people actually west of us, towards Josephburg and down through there, that got going because they needed water. And their quality of water wasn't good, and they just didn't have enough water. And some of this, I believe, and again it's hard to prove, is that the more oil activity you have, the oil wells that are dug, seems to change the water quality, but also the amount of water we have. And so we got on started the water co-op, and so this has been it was an easier utility to start than the gas, maybe because it wasn't quite as big.
We have water co-ops all over Peace River. We have them in the deep south of Alberta. Different ways of transporting, different ways of getting water to people. I guess what it really comes out with everything, there was a drastic need for water in Alberta, and in particular in the south of Alberta. That's where it really started to go. People got together and saw how well the gas people had done over the years, getting together, making a water co-op, banding together, and strength is with numbers, and that's how it started off.
Before we had the water hooked up, over behind that shed there was a well, and so there was no pressure tank. It just pumped it into a tank, and I used to carry the water over here. I carried the water over to that barn and over there, and boy, that took a lot of carrying, and you could only do that for a few pigs, and you're wore out and the pigs are thirsty. They keep drinking, and so you're carrying this water, and in the wintertime it's going to freeze up, and now we've got it in heated bowls, and it's well, more convenient, but it's been impossible to do with all the pigs that we have now, and we need that amount to keep going.
One of the areas that has most of the water co-ops in Alberta is in Greater Calgary. They don't have a lot of water. Groundwater is fairly scarce in that area, so we have a lot of water co-ops. I get a lot of calls, probably one a week from somebody who is saying, what do we do? How do we do this? We need water. We just don't have any water.
It's been a godsend just to have it on our farm, good, clean, fresh water that's there.
There's certainly some significance here with the glass of water that I'm holding. Before we had a water co-op, the water wasn't exactly perfect. It cost us a lot to get our other water. We're very fortunate to have the water co-op to give us the real ability to share good tidings for our neighbors and friends around here. It's just been a great thing for us. It's certainly not a detriment to the value of your home, your farm, your acreage, or whatever. It's been a great boon for all of the people on water co-ops, not just the one that I'm on, but people throughout the province who are, had the good fortune and were able to forge forward and get involved with the water co-ops.
Throughout Alberta, there are certainly some of the challenge we face are with third-party marketers coming in, trying to take over some of our systems. Now, these are people who had no interest in us before when we were little. Now that all the effort's been expended by the various members, we're an attractive concept to them. But ultimately, the member-owned utilities have advantages far exceeding the private marketers out there. We are member-owned. The profits stay within the community and the organization. The members have a voice in how that utility is operated. They elect their own board of directors and overall have a very good influence on what happens in their systems. I don't know the last time that I could approach the president of a large third-party company and tell him what I thought.
Even today, as I'm the current Minister of Agriculture, we view, as I said, the rural electricity, rural gas co-ops, the water co-ops, as the cornerstone of what we now call our Rural Development Initiative. 64 gas co-ops, 65 rural electrical utilities is taking advantage of the economic boom in our province. But in order for that investment to be made in rural areas, there's got to be heat, there's got to be power, there's got to be water. So it's a critical component of where we're going in the future now as well.